Here's the altcoin market cap chart zoomed out on the weekly. My day today has consisted of a lot of people, a lot of comments explaining to me that it's game over. It is game over right now with this move that you see happening. I didn't get a real reason, just one-liners. It's over. They weren't explaining this to me back here when we were about to break all-time highs and out of all-time highs on the altcoin market cap chart, but they're explaining it to me here. The question is it over? Is it game over for crypto? No, this is not game over. This is not game over. If you're a macro investor in this video, I want to explain two positive pieces of news to you. Number one is going to be the Clarity Act and an update on that and why it's so meaningful with even the price action that we're getting. And number two is going to be just Ethereum structure on the Ethereum chart. So we're going to look at Ethereum, and I'm also going to look at Cardano charts in this video. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in if you're not in our intelligence system. With our risk models, our exit planners, get back there, start strategizing, ignore the noise, focus on the data. We have a free trial going on right now and you can test it out. Historically, fun fact as we start for Ethereum at 41 risk, at this level, the price was higher 64% of the time after 3 months and 76% of the time after 1 year. So get into our system, check out all of the coins that we have back there, start planning exits, start planning accumulation. And if you are a member, just as an additional note, in case you missed the update, it was not fully, completely announced, you have back there SMS text alerts for risk scores, for the exit planner, for everything. So get back there, manage your notifications, start setting that up. So let's start. I want to start with the Clarity Act and explain some things. This is a very, very big deal. I just saw this post. This is what's happening right now. U.S. Senate Committee Chairman John Boozman announces the Clarity Act crypto bill will be put to a vote by U.S. Congress before November 27th, Thanksgiving Day, in the USA. Now, let me explain why that is so important, especially if you consider this rejection, all the manipulation that we've been seeing. And I'm not saying every time we dip it just has to be manipulation. I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is what's happening. Why is the Clarity Act meaningful? Well, right now we have a lot of things that are incredibly bullish for crypto, and everybody's forgetting these things. And I reference a post I just posted, but quantitative tightening ending, you know it. I've been talking about it. Everybody's been talking about it. Market structure bill passing, government opens, and a flood of altcoin ETFs get approved. So listen to let's just call them benefits, the benefits of the Clarity Act. This is Marty Party over here laying it out, and this is so important if you're in crypto. If you have exposure to the crypto space, pay attention to this. Because I talk about why the Clarity Act is so bullish. Look at this. It's not perfect, but it's the biggest anti-manipulation hammer Congress has ever swung at crypto. Trump White House says we will sign before Christmas. It kills manipulation. It bans wash trading, which is fake volume. 40% of Bitcoin volume on Binance, Bybit, OKX is wash trading to liquidate leverage traders. You wonder, why is there so much volatility? Or why, when we're about to break out, it gets rejected? Well, here's a really nice big reason why. CFTC gets real-time surveillance, auto flags, 90+% order cancellation. Offenders delisted in 48 hours. Spoofing, layering, which are ghost orders. 1 in 5 large trades, CFTC mandates order book transparency and proof of reserves. Front running will be a felony. I'm assuming that's what he means by equals. Remember, CFTC already fined Binance $4.3 billion for wash trading in 2024. Post-clarity, every U.S.-facing exchange must register as digital commodity exchange, monthly audits, or instant ban. So, and I was just talking to a buddy about it. He actually sent me this post, and you know what? He said it's like they're getting their manipulation in before this happens. And we're seeing we just saw record-breaking liquidations. This is just something to pay special attention to. And this is one arm of many that I think is incredibly bullish for the crypto space right now. So when I look at this chart and I open the video, I'm just like, is it over? Is it game over? There's so many reasons. I've been talking about the just Fed monetary policy, the business cycle. We're not entering quantitative tightening like when we were entering the last bear market, along with SEC destroying everything and companies just going bankrupt right here. We're not entering that phase. We're entering post-quantitative tightening. Quantitative tightening about to come to an end. And I'm doing a video about Clarity Act that's going to bring so much clarity to the crypto space. And with that, also unlocking a lot of capital, a lot of liquidity. So it's one very special thing to pay attention to. And there are others, obviously. We've been talking about them, the macroeconomic landscape and all of that, altcoin ETFs. But the other thing is this, and I want to show you a clip. This clip, and it's a segue into technical analysis because we're going to look at Ethereum and Cardano charts. But this clip, it really is a positive piece of data that I want to share with you. There's so much noise. We get so wrapped up in the noise of it all. Look at this clip this was from August 30th. Ethereum was at $4,300. Check it out real quick. But this is a massive multi-year triangle, and you can just see the throwback to the apex is in play. But this first area, I mean, let me just say this. We've been talking about this potential throwback for so long. That was August 30th clip. The reason why these moves take long in technical analysis is look at the size of the pattern itself. This is going back to the last bull market high, right? So many people are thinking we just hit this move. It's like kind of testing all-time high, bull market high, and now we're going into a bear market. That's fine. People can think that. But I've been tracking this triangle, as many of you know, since we broke to the downside, just anticipating the busted pattern, which is a fake out to the downside, pulling back, breaking to the upside. Now the busted pattern is here. And now the throwback to the apex itself has been in play for quite some time now. Obviously, that video was from the end of August. But the positive news here is, even with all of the bear market talk, all of you would think we're like literally like here capitulating into the bear market lows. And you know what's funny? Even if we were here, look at that. It's only a few more weeks until the bottom is in. But put that aside, we're not there. We're in, if you look at the Ethereum chart, just a consolidation on the midterm. This has been months of consolidation, but it's a very normal throwback right now to the apex. I still want to monitor. There could still be more downside as we're waiting for things like clarity, as we're waiting for things like quantitative tightening to come to an end, and all these other things that we're waiting for. But we have the 50-week moving average down there in the lower 3,000s. We have the lower trend line right here. I'm monitoring. I want to see what Ethereum does at the apex of this triangle. We would have liked to see a hold of support at the 20-week. It didn't happen, and it's fine. But we've fallen below, and it's not the first time Ethereum has fallen below a 20-week moving average. So we're going to monitor. We're going to watch to see what happens at the apex. At least that's what I'm going to be doing. But long story short, everybody, the move is a very normal move. That's what I'm trying to say. All the noise, all of the negativity. Go read the comments on this video. I don't even read my YouTube comments anymore, really. It's not worth it right now for me to read the YouTube comments. And I'm sorry if you're out there posting some positivity, but entering that comment area, it's like some work. It's like a very tough job to do it. But go read the comments is my point. And all that's happening is we're having a very nice technical move on the weekly chart for Ethereum. I want to go look at Cardano. I saw this post over here from DZ. Cardano must claim 61 cents as support or risk, falling to bottom of parallel channel 42 cents. This range has held since November 2024. So he put an interesting channel there. I wanted to kind of bring that up because you can kind of see this yellow trend line that I have there. It's something to watch for Cardano. If you look at Cardano on the daily, I do want to make a note. There's a little bit of a bullish it's actually kind of a lot of bit of a bullish divergence potentially happening right now, because just look at that lower low that was just put in on price. And we have a higher low on the RSI on the daily after being quite oversold here on the daily. That's something to pay attention to. I don't want to sit here and absolutely say, we're going to bounce now and we're going to get a really nice bounce. If we do get a bounce, the levels to watch for, which can be interesting in bringing into context DZ's post here of 61 cents, the areas to watch for are the 20-day moving average, especially, which is right around 63 cents. It's 62, 63 cents, because we just pulled into that and failed, right? Are we going to pull into it again and fail? And maybe it's lower by the time it does. But if we start breaking above the 20-day moving average for ADA, that's a very good first sign of a reversal, right? It's exactly what happened back here. It's exactly what happened back here. And it's a very typical area to start seeing a reversal. But then next, we have what? We have the 250. And notice how the 50 is just about to fall below the 200. That area is in the 74 cents. If ADA somehow gets back above like 75 cents, all of a sudden, watch the sentiment turn around. It's very kind of aligned with these charts, these moving averages. One thing I do want to note, and then I want to talk about the bigger picture here for Cardano, is if you look at even when the 50 was falling below the 200 back here, it's like, man, this is getting so bad. Well, that moment when that happened, right, the 50 below the 200, that was the low. Like that was the bottom is what I should say. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's the bottom now, but we do have bullish divergence, and we do have this exact same move happening right now, the 20 falling below the 200, or the 50 falling below the 200, and a potential. It's a potential bottom. But I want to zoom out. Cardano might go to the lower 40s like DZ was talking about, right? There's that trend line down there. Things get even worse. The comments will be even worse, and I'll still be here. Just I'm focused on my macro thesis here. The ingredients on the macro are things that we've waited so long for, years and years and years. For me, it's just my opinion. And again, I could be completely wrong. Now is not the time to exit and to give up while all this stuff is happening. And I'm talking about all the crypto stuff, but I'm also talking about Fed and the monetary policy and what is happening here. Like right now is not the time. When we start going into something like this, that's a pretty good time. But right now, not the good time. But going back to the ADA chart, I zoom out on the daily, and it's not the best. It's a Coinbase chart, but it's not the best in terms of all the data. But it does paint a nice picture. I have a bunch of arrows, because covering Cardano content especially, and just covering crypto in general, it's been like this, right? There's a bear market low. And just know there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent gains throughout here. There's been opportunity if you've been accumulating over the years. Because I know right now it's like, dude, we're at 55 cents and we were just at 23 cents at the bottom of the bear market. Well, we also ran to $1.30. I know we didn't break all-time high. I know it underperformed against other altcoins, but most altcoins kind of performed like ADA. And I know the parabolic bull run has not happened. But for me as a macro investor, like it's not about these short-term 10x gains. For me, it really is, and I zoom out on this chart a lot. This is the altcoin market cap chart, because it's not just ADA for me. I have other coins in my portfolio, right? But this is the story that's meaningful to me. And it's like a multi-cycle, multi-year story. And it does require a lot of patience, because all in here, when the people want the 10 to 20x, it's not, I want it too, but that's not solely what it's about. This is the macro picture, and this chart and the structure that is here, the story that's being told here. And then you pull into play Fed monetary policy and the business cycle and macroeconomic data. We have something I think that is a very unique opportunity. I really just think that. And that's what I'm trying to focus on when we go back to the ADA charts. And it's just like, it's over. Every time. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over, right? You get the point. Remember here, it was just like sideways, choppy. It's over. Back here in April, the tariff fears, it was over. And then all of a sudden it wasn't over, and everybody's all bullish again, and it wasn't even a big move. And then it was over again here in the summer, this recent summer. And then we're moving again towards $1. And then it wasn't over anymore. But now it's over again. It's like the sentiment is so moved by emotion. It's insane. I'm trying very, very hard to consistently deliver data. I'm not just like a perma bull that's just like, I'm just bullish. I don't even care. I try to bring actual real data to the picture, and there's so many ways to talk about it, you know, and I really do want to dig into the macroeconomic stuff way more than I have, but I do try and keep it very simple and kind of squeeze it into like shorter videos, 10, 20 minutes long. But I'm trying to bring the data, everybody, at the very least. I could be completely wrong about it. I realize that. I say that all the time. However, if I'm not wrong and just say crypto gets bullish, I think it's going to be because of all of these things that we've been talking about. And those are the fundamental things. Those are the things that are important to a value play. And it's not just Cardano that is a value play. I think there are many value plays. The crypto space in general is a value play right now. So Bitcoin is a value play. So these are my thoughts today. I wanted to do a video because things are, things really do look terrible when you really just, you get into the weeds of sentiment and you just start, even if you just start zooming in on price, it just has been so terrible. But I wanted to do a video just going over some of these developments, especially in relation to clarity, because this is a very big deal and it's very meaningful if you're a crypto investor to kind of understand what's going on here. So those are my thoughts today, everybody. I appreciate you cruising through. Again, if you're not in our intelligence system, get back there. We've got a bunch of coins. I think our newest model we just added this past week was Aerodrome. And you can see that risk model right there. But get back there, start planning your exits, start setting text alerts, and we have more features that we'll be working on as well. So always new things in the pipeline. I appreciate all of you watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.